Who are you talking to me? I'm in Victoria Park for some peace and quiet.
What do you think about smartphones? Friend or foe?
I think they're God-given.
God-given how?
My son's lived a life with a smartphone.
You don't know what they're doing with a smartphone. It could be dangerous.
Dangerous? This book can be dangerous in the wrong hands.
The photos could get into the wrong hands.
Excuse me.
I didn't catch your name.
My grandmother gave me this album. I can't use it.
Sorry, you're interrupting the conversation here.
Come and sit down.
I don't know how it works.
Oh, you don't need it.
What do you mean?
It's better to be with them.
I'll show you how to use it.
Don't waste your time.
She said I can be with her through this thing. Oh, I don't understand.
Look, it's easy, you just...
She cried when she... I was so heartbroken.
Why didn't you go with them?
They've gone to Spain. There's no halal food. There's no people like us. No Muslims.
Oh, there are Muslims. There's a strong Islamic history and halal food.
They're the church in Cordoba. That used to be a masjid. Let's use some images.
I don't know these things. I would like to go back home, but it's not the same since my wife passed away.
Look, it's easy. You just swipe, it turns on. Oh, you have a message. It says, Salam alaikum, Grandad. We're in Granada. We're very well. And here are some pictures.
That's them. That's my granddaughter. They look so happy.
What is it, the message? We need to connect to the internet, though.
I don't know how to do that.
The technology is amazing.
It's misused by people and children who don't know what they're doing.
What's that girl doing?
Pokemon Go. It's a new game. Everyone's playing it.
Oh, not me.
There's an internet cafe just there. I can show you how to use it. Let's go.
Tell me it's me. How are you?
You're still using that brick?
And what's wrong with it?
It's 10 years old.
It does the job.
Really? A horse and carriage school does its job. Oh, we don't use that anymore, do we?
Do you have real friends?
I have hundreds of friends. And Facebook, and WhatsApp. Yes, and real friends too.
When was the last time you met with those hundreds of friends?
I don't need to physically see them. I interact with them every day.
Look around you here. Everyone's here with their friends and family, but they're all staring at their phones.
I can do so much with this, like check when the next bus will arrive, and much more.
I don't know about being controlling my life. So much time is wasted on those things.
Are you guys ready to order?
I can even do my banking on this.
I wouldn't trust that with my personal data.
I'm just paranoid.
Sorry, you guys ready to order?
Yeah. I'll have some hot chocolate, please. And you?
I'll have an Americano. Oh, and that gentleman there, he might want something too. I'm just going to the toilet.
Sounds like heated. What are you talking about?
Oh, I can't believe it. Some people still use those things.
My grandmother has one of these friends.
They don't know what they're missing.
I don't understand.
Wait. What? Where have they gone?
Sorry to interrupt, but has anyone taken an order, sir?
Where are they?
I think the internet must be bad here.
What do I do?
To be honest, I don't know. I just started working here for 2 weeks.
Go and talk to your manager. I need to talk to my family.
He's not here right now. But it seems like he may just have exited Skype.
Exit this guy?
Yeah, if you let me have a look. There.
Oh, thank you so
Sorry
much.
about my son.
There was a girl I knew. I was friends with her sister when I was younger, and I used to go around and watch Bollywood film on their VCR.
Yeah, I remember those days.
It was a family event, sitting around the TV and watching a long Hindi film on a Saturday afternoon.
3 films on this phone right now.
The sister met a boy. It was a secret relationship. The boy was from Pakistan and the parents didn't know of him. They met online and they used the phone to message each other. When they were alone, things happened. They swapped photos. Then her parents thought it was time that she got married. She told the boy, but he was angry. He wasn't having any of it. So he sent the photos to her father. And then he uploaded them on Facebook for everyone to see.
That's awful.
That wasn't the end of it. He printed graphic and nude images of her and posted them on 3 letterboxes along the street.
That's horrible.
The sister died.
How?
Her parents sent her to Scotland. Everyone knew. She took some sleeping tablets and took her own life. Look, the old man's coming. Let's not tell him who it is.
When did your family come back?
Well, they went on Saturday, so we'll be back in 2 weeks.
I'm sure you're missing them. Do you have any other friends and family here?
I know some people at the masjid, but I don't really talk to them. Sometimes I go to the local library and I read newspapers. And I see my friend Mr. Leah.
Well, the local community centre has a free lunch on Fridays. You can meet new people.
Yeah, and there's a library in the cafe.
Well, what about the internet? I don't know how to use it.
I'm sure they'll be pretty happy to help you at the library.
Why don't you two come to my house? I don't cook anymore, but my daughter I know she cooks everything for me. She puts meals in the freezer, I put them in the microwave. With my new friends, I will cook.
Oh, that's so kind of you. We could come and keep you company. I'm not working this Friday. Maybe we can meet you after Friday prayers at the mosque.
Okay, well, I'll meet you outside the masjid. My home is there. And you will come.
Sure.
Salam.
So,
Poor old man. It must be so hard for him to be alone.
well, that's where technology has helped him. He needs it.
I've been talking to them nearly every day. The iPad is wonderful.
See, I told you you're able to use it.
Have you been out much?
Yes, I go to the cafe every day. That girl, she helps me with the internet. Her name is Lisa. And she said she's so wonderful. She's always so happy to help. She said I remind her of my grandfather. And she's going to buy an iPad for him as well. I invited her to come today.
These youngsters, they know so much more.
You see, if you press this button, it takes you to... That must be that. Come in. The others are here. This is Mahjabeen, and this is Naz. Do you remember them from the cafe?
Of course, yeah. Hi, I'm Lisa.
Hi.
Hi.
Lisa, I've been using Skype nearly every day. My family, they've gone to Morocco for 1 day. Can you believe it? Technology is amazing. Even for all those hours.
I have convinced my grandpa to use an iPad. There is a class called iPad for the older generation. My grandfather's going. It's free. You can go too. I will introduce you. Yeah.
Can't you stay away from that thing for 5 minutes?
There's bungee jumping happening next week. My friend wants to know where's Joy.
Why did you
It's
jump
there.
out?
It's It's happening next week. They need 10 people for it to go ahead. It's next Sunday at the O2.
I've always wanted to do that.
You should come.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Great. You get us the group. But you need a more updated phone book.
Well, what kind of group? I'll think about it.
Bungee jumping? Can I go?
Sure.
Lisa, you will come as well. Ah, it's them coming. Tell me it's me. Everyone, gather around. Meet my new family.
Now, this was done in 10 weeks, 2 hours a week, so I'm amazed that they've managed to do it. I won't tell you any of the drama involved in it, but anyway, they did it, and what do you think? I know, maybe you can ask them to continue the story.
Because you just formed a family and links and the areas that they all met up. I thought, yeah, next day.
Was it convincing?
Huh?
Was it convincing? Could it happen?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Any question to anybody?
How real is this to you?
To who? Yeah, who's the question?
Or just to anything, the whole situation about technology and generations?
I think it was very real to a lot of us initially when we were discussing the ideas. We went through how a lot of technology changed in all our lifetimes, and within us we've got lots of different generations. And we were just talking about our parents' generation and what technology they grew up with. A lot of the characters were based on people I knew. The older gentleman, the grandfather, was I developed him through my father and thought about how I introduced an iPad to him and how I use the connections with him when I can't be there. So I thought very much a lot of it was based on real life.
Sure. Obie did a lot of the writing, by the way. We all contributed a little bit, but Obie did a lot of the writing, so that was really good.
Any other questions?
I think to answer Sam's question, for me it's very real as well, because as Ahmed mentioned earlier, we live in a very multicultural society, and not only that, we live in a very intergenerational society as well, because we have a lot of people who have this, who are aging, and at the same time we have a lot of young people growing up, and there's a huge digital gap between those who are literate and those who don't know much about all this technology that's evolving. So, and it's a shame for the people who are not very familiar with computers and stuff, because they feel left out, and they're missing out on a lot as well. So for me, for my character, I think I could appreciate my character as well, because someone who's really into phones, and most of us are really into our technologies, and we want to sort of help others understand it as well. So as my character wants to help us the use of. So I kind of appreciate the importance of educating everyone on computers and technology and things. So these kind of plays really help. And yes, there's pros and cons. Like you mentioned, like her character was quite negative towards technology. I can understand that as well, because there are a lot of risks, involved with internet and stuff like that. So there's pros and cons.
Who is the youngest person here?
My niece is...
No,
Who's younger?
What is your guess? What do you think?
Is it convincing, Nina? Be honest.
What do you think of older people using Facebook?
It's good to keep in contact.
Good.
What about you, John?
Because I'm the oldest person here. I've got one of the little tiny ones. That's literally one I've got, but even tinier. That's all I manage. And on my Skype I've got over it doesn't work. I was very impressed, and I'm very interested that you took this topic as the topic topic that you chose for intergenerational, because there are hundreds of other things you could have chosen, you know. And the other thing is that everybody was so nice.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a kind of, there wasn't any difficult side. Everybody made it easy, and that's fine. And obviously it's short. I mean, I suppose I'm waiting for Act 3, which will be when it all. No, but we've had Act 3 because that was in your home. So I want Act 4 to see, and then when you all fall out, and then in Act 5 you'll be reconciled.
What do you envisage? Who falls out with whom?
Don't know yet.
I'm just asking. I think she's got some ideas.
No, I don't think I have. I just think.
I think between these two, there's something, bit of conflict that will brew. I think. No?
Yes, could be.
But in a short time, we were very definitely polarised characters, like he was pro.
At the beginning you were.
Yeah, beginning.
At the beginning you were very different, and then you sort of cooperated in helping this other guy. Yes, so the differences might have sort of surfaced again later, let's say. Yeah, could have done. They're very, very interesting and very enlightening that you chose that topic on which I'm absolutely typical of my generation.
Okay, why is that interesting that we chose this topic? It's not covered usually, or it's not explored normally?
Well, it's explored. I mean, people talk about it all the time, don't they? But I don't think I've seen. You might be a first. I don't think I've seen it explored in drama before. I mean, people must get terribly annoyed with the granny who isn't on Skype and then complains that they don't write her any letters.
I just want to thank you all for a wonderful play. It was very well put on. Lovely things coming out, good characters. I would encourage you to think about more of the challenges that you had, where it was a challenge between two characters or several characters, and how some of them were overcome and some of them were not overcome. But the best thing about it is you're portraying more true to life portrayal of what life is on stage. And they should be the stories that you want to talk about and share with us, and not have any fear or worry whether it's doing a job or not. Because the more stories you offer, the more we can come and see them. So I wish you all the best.
I really like the way that you showed that balance, because I could identify with your character. First of all, I miss your names. It would be nice if you had names.
Character-wise, I was Alia, and this was Naz.
Oh, I didn't hear them.
I don't think they mentioned.
No, you didn't.
They usually get it.
I saw them, maybe I wasn't paying attention. But I could really identify with your character, and I was really getting into yes, definitely wanted to be, and then you kind of warmed up, and I like that because I can go from one extreme to the next. Technology is complete rubbish. But the highlight of the Skype, it reminded me again of a neighbour that I've got who is an elder gentleman, and that's how he keeps in contact with his relatives. So I think that was a really important balance to be had as well. Because it does. To me, this technology ruins relationships. I've got the idea that 80% of it is just a complete, like when you said about 100 friends and you still following them, one of you said that. I thought, yeah, it's easy following them, you know, where am I? And yet by the end of the whole act, you were in this one room and these were his friends. This is what felt warm, it felt lovely, it felt real. To get 100 or more places.
I think in, say, the old generation, we were sold technology that it was going to reduce our working hours and make life very, very easy for us. We would have time off to have sports, see our families. I don't think it's the technology which is the enemy. It's how different people use it. I mean, companies can use it to get to us. Obviously, in Naz's case, he's on it because it's something that suits his lifestyle. But to the others, they all use it. And then because they came to the old man's house, they wanted to use it where they were participating together, and that was a good part of it.
The other thing is, I found some older people, my father, before he died, he didn't want to get involved with this kind of technology. He thought this wasn't like for his generation. He didn't want to copy young people. You know, he likes his own lifestyle. They don't. So they read probably reluctant from some older people. They don't copy lifestyles of this age.
Well, older generations come to it through necessity.
I think some older generation do pick it up and they use it very well. Others don't. Some young people, when they're taught in nursery and in school, they do it as if it's a normal thing to be born with. So you can't prejudge, but you know that like my parents, they don't just normally do it because they're not interested in it. They can't seem to get their head around why do I need to use it for? But we're all used to it because we've grown up with it. So it's habit and how we're, I suppose, shaped to use it.
Yeah, it was always something, right?
It's
Because
also necessity.
Yeah,
Necessity.
Yeah. My mother who's in her mid-80s, she can use what she has to use, but she cannot learn a single thing more. Don't even try. But she can send a message because she knows she's really have to learn how to send a text message. That's about it.
Can I ask the question to the audience? After observing this play, what kind of changes came about in you, or did we have an impact on your understanding of technology or anything? Is there anyone that we...
I was just conscious that I don't think I have my phone and check it, so
No, but the one thing that was interesting me is that I think in our culture, but British Bangladeshi and other cultures in London, the older generation are becoming isolated considering they came from a very extended family context. And I think you're seeing that amongst Bangladeshi older generation people as well. And so that kind of was quite true to what's going on now. And I think, the kids going off doing things, they can't relate to that, or there's this nice sense of isolation. I think that's what interests me about big cities and London, is the sense of people being quite isolated and disconnected anyway. And certain generations feel it maybe more so. Because young people, you can go out to the pub and pretend to enjoy yourself and have lots of pretend friends. I think we all had that when we were young, but then when we get older, we realise what is a real friend, or we get more time where we think things are a bit deeper or not. And I think that was interesting. But I remember, I'm not that old, that when long distance phone calling was quite difficult and novel. In my generation, I think when we were young, calling Bangladesh was like such a big thing, big deal. It was technology, you could make international calls now, and that was the exciting thing.
Very
And then,
expensive, though.
yeah, they were expensive, but then came, I think, the card calling, and that was the next exciting thing. So I think every generation is just, maybe it's going really rapidly. Every 2 years now, every year, things are changing rather than every 10 years, every 5 years previously.
Well, they want to do implants. There are certain developments where, once they get permission, they want to put implants into speakers so we can connect directly or performances.
What I'm curious about is ask them how they found the process, because it's quite intense and, with limited time, everybody's committed, working full time, traveling long distances. Always interests me how people manage to do these things. I know Anna did the previous one. There's a couple of people I worked with previously who did a similar project, and I'm always fascinated about the final experience. I think they did wonderfully considering the very limited time, and I wasn't sure even today how it was going to go, but I don't think they made one mistake during the whole process.
That was really good.
Yeah, no? What do you think today? What do you guys feel? How was the process? Intense?
Flew well, luckily, as you said, no mistakes.
There wasn't many, no. Okay, I'm not really noticed anything.
Did I just have that standing to ask the question, did it have an impact? It had an impact on me, in terms of getting it more of a balance. Obviously, when I walked in here, 80% of it was like technology, social media, rubbish. But that older man and his Skyping kind of pulled me back to maybe 65%.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's
He was an amazing character, no?
Yeah, he
I would like to have a grandfather.
accent as well, eh?
He's really 15, but he managed to convince me I'm really 60.
I think that's why all of us, regardless of our age or what generation we can relate to, at least one of the characters they are.
Good.
Especially with being in a NAS's generation. I was addicted to my phone, literally. I'm addicted to my phone, but we went on holiday recently and I somehow managed my phone. Since iPhone came out, I think, in 2008, 9, I always had an iPhone and always connected to the internet. Wi-Fi connected really easily. Those apps, install those apps on my phone. The phone I have at the moment cannot store more than 1 or 2 apps. So if I have WhatsApp and Facebook, that's about it. I can't have my Snapchat. I can have my all the other classic apps I have, including the Time to Bus or my Google Map. And then the other thing that I've had a problem with recently
So is that good or bad for you?
I was going to come to that. Recently, what's happened is EE, which is my contract, my internet and phone provider, is messing around on my phone, so I no longer have internet on my phone. So there's the Wi-Fi, I'm not connected, and I am feeling a bit. I feel, yeah.
So you're disconnected.
I feel disabled because if I don't do a bank transfer, my brother's transfer the money that I owe him, I can't do a bank transfer. Normally I can do a balance transfer. I can put where Hanbury Street is, so I can go to Google Maps to find out where Hanbury Street is. I got WhatsApp Henry here saying I'm running late.
I do think there's a certain feeling that after you depend on it so much and no distance to how the way you use technology, you tend to think that whatever comes from the internet or from a certain authenticated app or action, that is somehow the truth or something that will not put me astray. But technology can go wrong, information can be wrong. So we mustn't lose that ability to think for ourselves as well.
Yeah.
Combine the two, that's much more powerful.
Well, that's actually
But unlike you,
yeah.
I would think that
I'm actually remembering that case, that's the thing. Hanbury Street, Kazi on the sunset, so it was a lot of things I was thinking while I was walking down Hanbury Street today. It's like I'm actually disabled, mentally I'm disabled, so I'm thinking to myself, I need to put my insert to use my brain and it hurts to use my brain.
Like the honesty, good.
Yeah. And it's like, are we actually disabling ourselves? Are we dependent on a gadget, even in the park, instead of feeling what's around me, we're trying to connect to all the kind of trust friends that you have on Facebook. And one of the questions that I started questioning myself the last 2 weeks is that I would have to look at my friends on Facebook. There are people that I know have thousands of friends on Facebook. And are they your friends? Would you ever classify them as your friends? Or are they just social media, internet friends? And if that's, and for some people, if Facebook is just your internet friends, then why are we disclosing so much of our personal life on social media? I became addicted to Facebook, where every single thing I was doing was on Facebook. For the last couple of weeks, I couldn't upload any more photos because I had an incident. Then I was thinking, it started to make me think that I'm actually exposing myself to Facebook.
Sounds traumatic.
It's traumatic. And then I started thinking about how I haven't had the internet and all these internet friends, these children, who came about Facebook, who came and all.
There was a part in the play, really mentioned to me, one of the writers who the first scene in the bar, where she started to speak to you, she's trying to make conversation with you. And she said, come in just to try and get a peace. But yet you were so hectic on the phone, and that's not happening with something big. Is that your way of peace by being on the phone so busy? I like that thing.
I think we observe a lot of young people now. If you ask them to say the idea of peace, I think they will agree that this is, because what they find is they find that normal, ordinary people very chaotic and very difficult to interact with. But whereas if they're in the phone, they're in their own world, so there's no one's harassing them, no one's not chaotic, it's quite peaceful for them. So
To be on the phone.
to be on the phone, I don't know, I don't really appreciate that one. I think human beings are amazing and I'd rather be with the live people rather than phones and reality. But my character I like to play is those characters that are really glued to Facebook and WhatsApp and they think they have millions of followers on Twitter and stuff like that. And they have competitions which friend has more followers and it's a crazy world in this technological world, so to speak.
Yeah, she's always on her phone watching a video, and friends are calling them, they're always on their phone.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a nightmare.
That waitress, as she was to be running around the park, Park, was that the Pokemon?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's dead now. It's only lasted about 3 months. I don't see anybody doing it anymore.
Isn't that what used to be? I never realised that people rushing around were doing that.
During the summer, there was a whole lot of people going around Victoria Park with their phones and just going around hunting things. That was them. Yeah, that was what you're seeing them, but you didn't probably know what they were up to.
What do you think? Is individuals or in groups?
Both. Individuals, yeah.
Because I was talking to somebody who's a really pioneering photography way back in the 70s, and he had the idea of a shared camera that the group, and this is how your play ended, with a group round one image. And that was interesting that you also had this individual chasing around some kind of image on her own that took her away from the group and into some fantasy world where nothing really existed. So you've got that huge contrast between that bit ending of the play and the conclusion of the play.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's so much in here. You just didn't have the time to really appreciate and develop lots of dimensions.
I say sandwiched in the middle was the revelation of the childhood friend's sister, who, and this was based on a true story where there was a friend's sister who got herself in a very difficult situation, and images were, there were these images that were taken of her, and her father saw them, and then they were taken to another level, and people on the street saw these images, and they were, once they were on Facebook as well, and on social media, there is no way of pulling them back in. That was based on a true story. And actually, it was just yesterday I was listening to the news on the BBC that there was a similar incident happened with this girl in Italy. She was in her early 30s, and a sex tape of her was released, and it went, viral. And she took her own life. And I think the thing is, with young people, teenagers particularly, they don't realise the danger that they're putting themselves through by exposing themselves, in these situations. And I think that's really the heart of what I felt a lot of the play was about. And that was just. I tried to delicately put that in there, but we were trying to cover so many aspects of technology. I just feel that that's a danger that people maybe aren't comfortable with talking about, or not enough has been said about that, or young people aren't. We haven't shared enough information about protecting children, about those dangers.
Particularly towards young women in particular?
Young women, I mean, it's even happened to school children. It's a very complicated situation.
What would have been stronger in the story of Ahmed at the beginning, but he was so excited by this thing and been actually looking at that sort of thing. In other words, he'd already been demonstrated to us with his face that he was looking at that sort of thing.
Could be.
And then it came up as a tragedy later.
Yeah,
Any more, or do we?
we can have some snacks and talk while whoever's still outside having tea and snacks with us.
Well, just to say, you could argue that in the same way that youth is wasted on the young, that IT is wasted on the young, because it's perfect. Someone like me sitting in an armchair, my mother would do the gardening across from the past, and then she'd have to go over to the source and look up words and think about literary references. I can sit there with my phone and do the crossword puzzle and look everything up on my phone without leaving my armchair. So you could say that it's the over 60s who really benefit from the IT revolution, and the young should spend more time off their phones, I think.
What do you think, young people? More sports?
I can say one thing. You don't have the character, which is like a much younger one, which I have in real life. My nephew, he always on the phone or iPad playing games and becoming chubby day by day. So not doing any sports, and that's just worrying. So yeah, we should have just include that character maybe.
Just want to say, if you're interested in developing, in March we have the end of project celebration, right? We can provide opportunity to deliver a bigger play. We will have the resources for you if you were interested. The other thing is, we'll be producing a publication at the end. If anybody from the audience, they want to contribute, like in terms of, ideas or from their own experience of and the issues, intergenerational issues that in society we can include in the publication. I know John was talking about last time about dress between different generations. What were you saying last time in the meeting we had? I think you mentioned about dress.
Oh, yes, the person with the torn jeans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, so what are you saying?
What did you say? No, there
Are
was a
you
discussion
saying
about.
that sort of thing could go into the book as well as the play?
Yeah, no, what would we do? We will script in the book, but
Yes.
also we want to include like articles, include issues that are being explored. We look at them, get information about their experience of being part of this, what they gained and so on. So we include a lot of those in the book as well. If anybody has any additional things they can add about multi-generational experience, right, and issues in a diverse society like London, then they can share it with us and we include the publication. They can email us or talk to us, whatever. Just as an example, we talk about this. I think last time somebody was saying some young girls, I think, was you or somebody mentioned, they wanted to wear their grandmother's dress or something. Oh, sorry, your daughter. Or her daughter wears her mother's clothes.
That's vintage.
Just one topic, before I say something about you, way. Okay. A large part of this play I can relate to for a number of reasons. In my past life,
When was that?
roughly 10 years ago, I actually used to work for a vertical as a senior team leader, and kind of issues that we were talking about accessibility for the older generation, all of that, and including adult access control so that children can't access adult material easily. So I've been involved quite deeply in those kind of projects, and this kind of thing where looking at the older generation, how they use phones, how they do various things, communication between people around the world. These kind of things were very high on the agenda at these are the times that, and I'm sure we're still dealing with it at the moment. But the reason why I moved is because I felt that if I say that, somebody would slap me from the inside. It's one of these things that being at the core of was that actually introducing the camera on a mobile phone. At the time I thought it was crazy, but that was kind of a key part of player in that. So
How many years ago was this? 10?
well, the camera on the phone was around the year 2000. So that's when we first introduced with Phone Live, because of these things, we wanted to make sure that the camera was up and specifications were available to all the manufacturers and stuff. And played a big part in that. And since then, we've been guilty, so.
Right.
Tim!
That's what you
You blame me specifically.
So, yeah, that's being part of that. The other part that I've been part of is actually I went to a cyber cafe near Victoria Park, and I saw the same stories being played out in front of me on a day-to-day basis. We had one
used to spend a lot of time there.
yeah, she used to work there as well, so
And helping people like this a lot.
What, just trying to connect with the family of all of
Yes,
them?
yes.
yeah.
You told us that.
So that's a real nice thing. It's always happening. We used to have a gentleman coming in, and we help them connect, and then they'll continue to use that.
And did they eventually learn how to use it themselves and be independent?
I think it's the reason why they came to the cafe is because we were there.
Ah, okay, so they needed help. Okay.
But we also had somebody who was deaf. She's coming on a regular basis.
Yes.
Deaf.
Yeah.
She's coming on a regular basis again. That was an interesting challenge that they had to connect it, and eventually she was addicted to it. She was one of my favorite customers. She's kind of more needs to leave at night. But yeah, so I can relate to a lot of the stories that you've mentioned. And I don't know, I think from my perspective, I say, for a while I've been feeling guilty about putting the camera on the back. Because of all the issues that's been raised ever since that. but it's technology is very fast.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
I keep struggling with that. Just clarify, what is it you feel guilty about? I'm not clear.
Okay, so I was a key part player in introducing the camera on the mobile phone itself. So before then it didn't exist.
Oh, so you added the camera onto the mobile phone?
Yeah, we made the specifications, we told the manufacturers to do
Oh,
that.
right.
And so the whole